Hey, it's Lando from The Snap. I'm talking about New York Giants wide receiver Kenny Golladay today, what the impact of the signing with the New York Giants is going to be, where you should draft him in startup leagues, redraft leagues, how to value him if you're looking to trade for him, trade him away, everything under the sun. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like this video, and comment below. Do you think Kenny Golladay has top 12 upside in 2021? So let me know below if you think that way. I'm gonna address everything today. We are snap_fantasy on Instagram and Twitter. Make sure to send us a DM if you have specific questions, and stay tuned all off season long, and we're gonna help you win some fantasy championships. All right. So Kenny Golladay signs with the New York Giants. And a lot of fantasy fans really weren't too happy about this signing. It's generally a low volume passing offense. Last year, Daniel Jones only had 448 attempts, which isn't really going to cut it. We want him to get over that 500 attempt barrier, right on par with Kirk Cousins, Derek Carr, Matt Stafford would be amazing. So I'm going to go through all the implications about Sterling Shepard, Darius Slayton, Evan Ingram, and Saquon Barkley as well with this New York Giants team. And I guess Daniel Jones, is he going to have a year 3 breakout as well? All this stuff is going to be addressed today. So the thing is, Kenny Golladay joins a team and he will be that number 1 alpha. He's going to be the WR1 on that team. Sterling Shepard's going to have his role. Evan Ingram's a great move tight end. Darius Slayton, I think, is the one that's mostly impacted from this signing. We talked about it on the podcast with my co-host Mac. He's the one that's going to take the hit the most, and his upside is capped with his Kenny Golladay signing. This team is generally, you know what, they want to run the football. They drafted Saquon Barkley for a reason. As long as Saquon is back, they should be running the football. And because every defense knows that's the focus, Saquon gets the focus. He has those 8 guys in the box. Now, Kenny Golladay is one of the best contested catch rates, or contested catch wide receivers in the NFL. This is going to give Daniel Jones a big target. Kenny Golladay, 6'4", 218 pounds. He's a massive human. And if they're going to leave him out on an island, one single coverage, this should be great for Kenny Golladay and his fantasy upside. Now, where exactly should you draft him? Right now, he's going at about wide receiver 18 in redraft leagues. The guys he's right around is Will Fuller, who just changed his team as well. Chris Godwin with the Bucks. Robert Woods, Deontay Johnson, Cooper Kupp, Odell Beckham. Right around that space is where Kenny Golladay is going. Drop it in the comments. Who do you prefer out of that grouping? Do you like Kenny Golladay out of those guys? Or do you prefer a guy like Cooper Kupp, Deontay Johnson, maybe the safety of Robert Woods? They're going right now in the 5th round of redraft leagues and half PPR, 1 quarterback leagues. So you're getting a ton of value on these wide receivers. Running back is going to get hammered in the first 2 to 3 rounds. Every good running back is going to be gone by round 3, which leaves a ton of value for these wide receivers with top 12 upside. I know there can only be top 12 wide receivers, but few wide receivers have the upside that Kenny Golladay has, even in a somewhat low volume offense. So really, my feeling about him landing with the New York Giants and them committing some big money dollars to this guy is pretty good, regardless of the volume they pass the football, because he is that alpha. Sterling Shepard's good, but he has his role. So I think obviously going from Matt Stafford to Danny Dimes is definitely not an upgrade. It does cap his ceiling a little bit, but I think this is more of a lateral move for Kenny Golladay when it's all said and done. He doesn't really have, it's going to be tricky. It's lateral to lower value on Kenny Golladay. So if you're in Dynasty leagues, maybe send some offers. You should see what the fantasy owner of Kenny Golladay has Kenny valued at, because he is 27 years old. He's going to be 28 this year. So he's getting older. He's reaching that age apex where wide receivers, especially big-bodied wide receivers, when they get when they get to that 30 range, really drop in value. So Kenny Golladay I do believe he still has a couple good years left in him, but the time is ticking for Kenny Golladay. In startup dynasty leagues, he's going around wide receiver 18 or so. So he's still getting valued pretty high, ahead of younger wide receivers like Courtland Sutton, like Brandon Aiyuk, Jerry Jeudy, Chase Claypool, Juju Smith-Schuster. So people are still valuing Kenny Golladay pretty high. So I personally prefer to go that younger route. I would kind of rather a Brandon Aiyuk, especially if I'm building for the long term in Dynasty, rather than a big body Kenny Golladay right now. So I'll trade for him if the owner is down on Kenny Golladay, but I will trade him away if people think this is a serious upgrade. This New York Giants offense is going to be really good if everyone's healthy. If Saquon Barkley's back, Evan Ingram sticks around, Sterling Shepard and Darius Slayton can still stretch the field in 3 wide receiver sets. This is a very good offense. And if Danny Dimes has that third-year breakout, Danny Dimes could be a guy that or Daniel Jones, if for anyone that doesn't know, Daniel Jones could be a guy you're targeting late in fantasy drafts, like last round picks, or in dynasty startups, you can get him for a severe discount. And even in Superflex and 2 quarterback leagues, he's kind of the guy I like to target because you're going to get a severe discount on Daniel Jones, and he's still young, still has a lot to prove in the NFL, rather than those old Matt Ryans that really have not much time left in the NFL. Don't get me wrong, Daniel Jones could be replaced in the next 2 years for New York, especially if he doesn't perform this year. But I do believe he will have at least a fantasy viable place on our teams, especially with his rushing ability. So this New York Giants defense, or a team, especially if their defense is not very good, should be a lot of fun to watch. I am taking Kenny Golladay as a top 20 wide receiver. No question. I'm taking the value in redraft leagues. I do believe he has that top 12 upside, and that's why he's a target for me in the 4th and 5th round of your fantasy leagues. All right, guys, that's it for me today. Make sure to like and subscribe to The Snap. We are doing rookie content all off season long. We go live for the NFL draft, and we'll be doing some live start sits every week in the fantasy season. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you next time.